What's going on, everyone? Excited for today's episode on sales process trends. I know many of you, and I teased this in the opener, are excited to learn, hey Jake, is it really possible for me to be more productive, get better sales results while actually tracking less? When I was interviewing David Cohn, and I think we're going to feature his interview on one of the upcoming episodes here, maybe episode 6 or 7, so stay tuned for that. One of the things that he and I talked about last week was this idea that in big change management lifts, measuring less and just the one or two things that are going to drive impact can actually lead to faster results. The story that he told is one that I think many of you will resonate with. He talked about a really big shift where they had two business units that were coming together. Both of them pretty large business units. It's LinkedIn. And what he talked about is in order to understand salespeople adoption, they could have tracked number of new pitches, number of new products added to a proposal, but they tracked one thing. They said, have salespeople in this group made a sale of one of these other new products in the first 30 or 45 days? That's it. So in order to impact change, instead of trying to focus on 55 different things, they said, hey, what's that one behavior change that would show us that these guys get it? These guys get that, we know how to pitch this other product because they actually sold it. So by doing that, they were able to see success really quickly because they were focused on just one or two things that really matter. So you might be thinking to yourself, Jake, what are maybe 1, 2, 3 areas that I could dive into that might equal bigger and better results for my organization? So I'm gonna try to break this down into some very actionable insights for everyone. So step one is this idea of dissecting your sales funnel. It's pretty wild to me. People come out and say things like, we've got a sales cycle that's, 60 days or whatever. The reality is each little piece of your process has its own little funnel that happens within it. So step one is if you have your sales funnel broken down and you're tracking each step is to look at two quick things. You're gonna look at your average conversion rate. So how many people go from this step to this step? How many go from this step to this step? And start to look at where you think that more people should be getting through, or maybe you've got a bunch of people getting through up top, but then nobody gets through in the bottom. So that will help to tell you where to go to look. So your average conversion percent by stage. The next is your average age in stage. That, my friends, is where you'll look at this time spent. So you're like, man, why is this rep doing really, really good at step 3, but the rest, how do we go and fix that? How do we go and look at what the rest of the team's doing compared to what this rep's doing to try to see if there's an area of opportunity there? So those are two really quick ones for you, okay? Dissect your funnel into different steps of the process, look at conversion rate, and look at the time spent. Those to me are some of the big ones where if you're trying to close deals faster, you're trying to have your salespeople spend their time in the right way. I think sometimes we over-focus on were the leads qualified at the top of the funnel, and that might be an issue you have as well too. But I highly suggest look at those two metrics, measure those most. So if you haven't already, make sure subscribe to the channel, and we're going to jump into the interviews, and we're going to get into some tech trends as well too.